Welcome to the Counter-Strike Global Offensive Beginner's Guide. This episode is going to be about team communication and making correct calls. So, when you're defending the bomb sites, you always want to be communicating with your team and giving them accurate information about what the enemy team is doing. So, let's say you're defending bomb site B and you see a guy or two coming from back there. When this happens, you always want to make as few mistakes as possible. So let's say when you see them, for example, you would say I see two terrorists approaching B through, I don't even know what the fuck that's called. Chose a bad map for this because I don't know all these callouts, but say you see two enemies approaching B. You want to communicate with your team how many players are coming, whether or not the bomb carrier's with them, and then whether or not they should rotate. So if you see a guy, you don't want to just fall back and then just call out that they're all coming from there because you don't know that yet. And if you call out that everyone is coming and then your team starts to rotate around the map, it's possible that this could be a distraction and they could possibly still have three other people on the other side of the map approaching A, and they could just be doing this to get your attention. And if you did that, then obviously everyone would rotate and there'd be nobody left at A. So you want to make as few mistakes as possible, be as specific as you can when giving information to your teammates, and just basically count how many people there are. And if you know the calls, which it's very good to know as many calls as possible, which would be dependent on how well you know the map, so memorizing the callouts is a good idea. But if you see them mid, like if you were mid and you saw them, you would just do the same thing. So now I'm at mid, and say you've got two people running across mid. You would communicate to your teammate that two of them are crossing mid headed toward A right now. And that is kind of a good indication that they may be going A. So you would want to try to hold them off, obviously. And then you yourself could rotate to A, and there should still hopefully be a guy or two at B. And then when you're actually in A, you should have a pretty good indication of whether or not they're going to A or not. For example, you got a guy back there, and if your teammate who's guarding underground or underpass, if he also makes a call out that there's one or two people coming, that's a pretty good indication so far that they're going to go A. So call outs are very important, and team communication is very important. You always want to be being accurate with your calls and being specific. You don't want to just say they're all coming from one direction. So that's basically it. Just memorizing map call outs and being descriptive and communicating to your team as quickly as possible. That's about it. And this should, if everyone on the team did this and your team has great communication, even if your team is not as good as the enemy team, with better communication skills, you can still beat a team that's better than you, especially if they're all randoms. Like if you got three or more players on your team and you all know each other and you're all friends, and you communicate with each other, you stand a pretty good chance. So that's about it for this. I think tomorrow I will do aiming tips most likely, so you have something to look forward to. And I'm hoping to get some nice momentum going and upload several times a week, as opposed to, obviously recently I haven't uploaded at all. So yeah, Thanks for watching. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, etc., even though I don't ever fucking post there. But if you have a Twitter, maybe I'll post once a year, and then you can look forward to that. And it'll be great. Like or dislike. If you thought this video was complete shit, thumbs that shit down. Feel free to comment, etc. And see you guys.